Alright, so let's take a look at how to go through and model something like this. We'll probably break it into 3 different steps. One is working with the lens that you see there. That's actually a surface that's converted to a solid. Okay. Next is how to do the sculpted frame that's around that, and pull it out and shape it like this. And then the third is probably just adding some details like this into it, how to do something like that. Okay. So in the scan examples, okay, so not the scans folder, but the scan examples, this is the, we're going to start with this reference to scan start, okay, this is the final one that you're seeing here. Now, I do want to point something out, and we might try to use this as a demo a little bit later on. If you look underneath bodies, there is basically 2 objects. So you see the head object quads, okay, that's that form, okay, and notice it's quads. So I was able to get it converted into a solid. Alright, so you can do some interesting things with that if you wanted to. But so it is available to kind of use. I might try to use it in that combo method as well to kind of show something with it a little bit later on as another way to model. Alright, now I've given you all the sketches here, so let's go through and start with that. So go in and pull sketch 1, or make sketch 1 and sketch 2 available. Alright, so we're going to start off by simply creating a swept patch, alright, that we saw earlier. So I got a center line as far as the profile, and then I got a line there that I went in and put as the path. Now this is pretty easy to create. It's right on the center. This one I did put in a plane at that height, okay, up there, and then created my sketch up at that spot. Okay, so just be aware that's how I got that into place there. All right. So let's first, let me close this down. Go into the patch side. Underneath the create menu, we're going to do swept, and we're going to create. There's my profile. There's my path. Okay, and there's my basic shape to it. Alright, so when I did this, I made sure I kind of wrapped all the way around with this form. Okay, how far back on the sides that I want to go with this. So that's one key thing, is make sure it covers everything we need with it. Alright, that's good. Now, I'm going to turn the head off, okay, at this point, and I'm going to open up sketch 3. What sketch 3 is, if you go to look at it from the front, is this basic cutout. Okay, should bring this back. It's around the nose, this bottom edge, and then it's sculpted down a little bit on the top there. Notice I do go all the way past this. That's important. Okay, because we're actually going to do a second cut with this. All right, so just be aware of that. All right, now let's go turn the head back off and go under modify, and we're going to split the face. Let's see, actually we're going to trim, sorry. That's what we're going to do with this, since this is a patch. Okay, so we select the surface, okay, and notice now we can select that actual sorry, get my brain going here, sketch, okay, and we can then tell it where we want to actually trim things away. Let's hope that's going to work. There, it worked. Okay, so in the trim tool, we always chose another surface when I showed that example. Here we can pick a sketch and do the same thing. Okay, so pretty cool. Alright, turn that one off. Now we go and make sketch 4 active. So what this is going to add to it is this little detail. Let me show this by turning off the frame here a second. So see how this lens wraps around and curves at the end there? In this form, that doesn't happen yet. I did put in this sketch on the side. Now, in doing this, let's see if we can actually correct this a little bit, okay? Because we want it to really match up and be snapped to it. And originally creating this, we can definitely do it. And we'll try to see if we can fix it. So I'm going to go in and edit the sketch. And here's the problem. Okay, the creation of this sketch is way past this. Okay, or what we want to reference. So Let's stop this for a second. So there's the surface, and then there's the trim. So here is that third sketch. So let's grab this, pull it back in time, okay, and also the trim, pull it back in time. There we go. So now when we go in and edit this sketch, now if you were creating this, you would make this as a new item, and it can be right there in the center, doesn't matter. Now notice when I come in, so this is horizontal. What I want to do is remove that. Okay, so I want to grab this, and notice you can snap onto that edge. Okay, and we can actually, let's see if we can pick this and this edge and make it tangent. So now that's a perfect blend across there. Okay, so it won't have any hiccups, and it's kind of important on that part. So let's go down and do the bottom the same way. So once again, click that in point to the spline. Notice you can pull anywhere on there that you want to. Okay, go back in and select the curve and select that edge, and then do the tangent. Oops, the tangent right there. Did that one work? I don't see it. I think I may have misselect. Here we go. Let's try it again. I've just got a shift click. Tangent is over constrained. Huh? Really? Wonder why. Let me pick this point. Just make sure there's nothing else there. I don't know if it's because of that edge up there. That's interesting. I'm surprised it's yelling at us about that. Make sure. Maybe that's. Let's see. I'm just kind of moving around, making sure it's snapped onto the edge. Alright, tangent. And it just doesn't like it. Well, when all this fails, you can eyeball it by simply grabbing this and kind of pulling it closer into shape. Okay? Alright, now, stop that sketch. Alright. So you see it actually pulls these pieces out as it does it. Okay? Alright, so let's go in and modify, trim again, pick the surface, pick just that. Okay? Let it project out. Get rid of the piece that you want to remove. And there we are. That's our sculpted form. Alright, pretty cool. Now, go back to that. We'll turn this sketch off. Okay, so we need to get this. Now we can work it as a patch, get it into a solid, and we'll actually combine it to make it into a one piece. Okay, so to do that, let's go underneath the create, and we'll go to thicken. Okay, click on that. Let's see what's 1 millimeter. Give us that. Ooh, way too big. That's because I'm in inches. So let's do something a little more reasonable. About 0.08. Probably about the size. We'll do 0.06. A little bit thinner than that. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright. So there's our thicken. Now, we're going to go back to the model side because this is now a solid. Okay. We can go into create mirror. Select that, and then the mirror plane is that plane. Hit OK to that. Okay, oops, what happened here? Oh no, some kind of error. One more pattern is this. Okay, hang on, let's see. Let's try that again. I think I had the wrong thing selected. Mirror. Faces, it should be bodies. There we go. Select that. Select that. Yeah, it's a little misleading because it picks things and you don't realize it's not the right object. Okay, there we go. Now, under appearance, yeah, I got the glass material that I used. Now, I want to show this. I'm going to assign it there and assign it there. In theory, you can leave this separate, okay? But there is an aspect with regards to rendering that comes into play. So if I go back over and go to the render mode, and we will just pull up a little bit and get up close and personal and hit the in-canvas render. What I want to show you with this, notice the line right through the middle. Okay, it's got two faces basically touching there. That's an issue. It will always give you that line. Okay, so to remove that problem, okay, let's stop that. Back to the model side. Go underneath modify and go to combine. Click that, select that, and make sure it's set to join. Hit OK. It doesn't look anything different, but it is one body now. Okay, and if we go back to the render side again, notice it doesn't show up there. Okay, it's a little subtle issue. When you go to render, there's no line there. Okay, it treats it as all one body, not the two faces that match there. All right, let's jump back to the model side. Hit there. Okay, so that's basically what we need to do at this point as far as the modeling the lenses and all, gets everything set up properly to work with. So our next lesson, we're going to focus on making the frame and sculpting it out.